All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
All right, Joel, I'm annoyed with you, but the show must go on nonetheless.
Yes, Mr. Israel. You got some feisty terrapins there. I've never seen a turtle react like that before.
Thank you.
But we can talk about that after. Your coach did not like Juwan Howard coming across half court, and he said, "Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me." And then then he charged. The Maryland coach charged Juwan Howard, tried to take him out.
All right.
He doesn't know Juwan Howard's from the south side of Chicago, and he would have dropped him like a bad habit.
Well,
okay, the show must go on.
You know who also got dropped like a bad habit today is the Qs, right?
Yeah, man.
Qs got dropped like a bad habit today.
Yeah, look at I can just share this screen, and you guys know how S&P centric I am. Look at this. I mean, yeah, you got the SPOOs unchanged, but look at this. Top component, Apple down $1, almost 1%. Microsoft down almost $2. I mean, look at this. I mean, tech is not where it's at. The banks are strong again. JP Morgan, but just look at it, folks. I mean, it's just tech. Tech cannot get off the ground. Let me move this out of here. It's been a choppy day. And we made a run at the pre-market low a few times. Pre-market low was 10.25. Turned back at 13.75. Haven't sniffed the pre-market high yet of 46.50. We're just dancing around unchanged here going into the final, let's call it 27 minutes of the session. Crude, kind of a choppy week for crude. That's traded down 44 cents at 65.58. Kind of matching highs there, right? Right at the $66 area, 66.24. Gold down 230, clinging to 1,700 at 17.20.30. Silver losing $0.25 at 29 or 25.94, and Bitcoin that keeps challenging that 58,700 level, unable to break through. But maybe they'll just save that for the old weekend rally. So there is a look at the futures markets.
Not much in the way of like disastrous moves today. I mean, your biggest loser is that I'm seeing Ride and Poshmark as well, POSH, and they both had earnings. And Ride didn't have earnings. No, Ride had the short report, but not even a disaster, because you bottomed off at the open at like what 10, and really at the open you bottomed out. You kind of just came back ever since, so it's well off the low.
What's Posh? Never even heard of that.
It's like a e-commerce platform.
Yeah, boy, that has not been a Poshy IPO, man. Look at this, straight down from the IPO. How often do you see that? Holy mackerel!
You saw it with what's the Blue Apron? Hey, how's Blue Apron doing? What's that APRN? How's that one doing? I've looked at that one for a while.
Yeah. That didn't make it the whole food delivery thing. A pair of highs is trying to do something. Matching highs here. Just not a... Nah, no one wants to talk about Blue Apron.
Hey, but back to Ride, though.
Yeah, Ride. Good thing Dennis didn't go iceberg at 15 on that. They took it down. 13.65, still didn't get to those pair of monthly lows. I don't know. I mean, they hit it, and the company hasn't responded, huh?
They did. They did.
Really?
Respond. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It must not have been was it around 1,400 that they responded? What is that, 2 o'clock? Because that's when you got to pop up the 55.50.
Dow Jones got a statement at like 12:20, somewhere around there.
All right. Yeah. Unable to undo the damage done so far. But that's just not a good looking chart. Those pops over 30 been really sold. I don't know. Hope Marcus is doing okay on this one. S&Ps are just creeping up here. We're in the green now by $1.25. We got a ways to go, folks. We gotta travel about 20 handles to get to that high from yesterday, which was a double top. But we may get a new all-time closing high. That all-time closing high came yesterday at 39.3675.
We're gonna have Rob Friesen on in like 5 or so minutes.
Huh?
Rob Friesen. Did you forget?
Yes.
You forgot?
No, I didn't forget.
Okay, I'm just telling people we're gonna have Rob Friesen on from Stock Odds. And
And you know what he's gonna do?
No, I don't know. I know nothing.
Gonna give what's next Friday, Spencer? I hope you don't fail this.
Next Friday is a very interesting day. It's not just a quad witch, I don't think. It's it's a quad witch and it is an S&P index rebalance day.
Is it?
Yeah. And wait a minute, there was one more thing. Hold on. It's an S&P rebalance. No, that's it. It's just a quad witch and an S&P rebalance. So Friday will be a very interesting day.
Yeah. Yep. And when we bring Rob on here in like 2 minutes or so, he's going to talk about sub setups for the week going into that.
Awesome. All right,
he's getting some legs here. We're in the 39.40 handle, folks. 39.40, just creeping higher into the close. All right, go ahead.
All right, we'll do some tickers in chat. H, what is this one? I don't even know what. I don't know. Let me look at this stock and see if it's no. Sorry. Kyle McNamara, 62-cent stocks, not really our cup of tea. What about...
What's my famous comment, though?
Yeah, okay. The most you lose is 62 cents, 62.5 cents. Not bad.
Exactly.
What about... Can we check? Sorry, I should have done this before. $1 stocks, also not really our bag. All right. DBX, Dropbox. There's one that we looked at. I looked at it last week, and I don't think I looked at it once this week. But
wow.
Looks like there was some unconfirmed M&A chatter today.
Really?
About DBX?
Huh. Well, that's it. Confirmed or unconfirmed. You know how I like to tell you about those. If you're buying it for that reason and you don't hear it coming out pretty soon, then you should definitely, be careful. Who's rumored? Is there anybody rumored that to do it?
Nope. I'm just seeing Deal Reporter, which is
they're okay, aren't they, on that kind of stuff?
Okay is generous.
All right. Well, it's a nice move. Looks like it's breaking out here on the monthlies. If it can stay above $27 here, 27.15 was your high in November 2018. So yeah, it's showing a little bit of life here. Dropbox. What was you know what I wanted to check on was Docusign. How do you think that did today? You think it gave some of that back, or do you think it kept on going?
What do you mean? It gave what back? There was no.
That's right. There was
no gain to give back.
No. Well, I was thinking about the pre-market.
Okay.
Yeah. This is coming into an interesting area, giving back maybe half of that move from 190 to 220. So it'd be important to see if you get filed through tomorrow, and maybe people feel like they missed the dip. What was the one? Triple D was looking at BABA today. And we talked about the 231, 232 area. Did he get a shot at that?
Yeah.
And did it bounce or did it keep going?
It's right there.
Right there. Ooh, yeah. Hey, how was that for a call for buying the dip? Down $9. I mean, I would lean on this low right here. But the news is out, right?
Okay.
The news is out.
Yeah, the news is out though. But let's pivot away from this, and that's a great call from Shire. What just happened in Netflix? Great question. You're paying attention. They just spiked to a session high. Looks like a report. Who's the report from? It's from The Information. They can get nuggets. They can break news. They're not an outlet to ignore by any means. The Information is reporting that Netflix has discussed selling its original shows to TV networks.
Really?
Yeah. Basically, the exact opposite of what usually happens, where Netflix will go in and buy your show for their platform. Now they're talking about selling their originals, like Stranger Things and Queen's Gambit, to TV networks.
What about Gracie and Frankie?
Grace and Frankie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an original.
Do you watch that?
I've seen it.
It's okay.
I wouldn't say I watched it. I've seen it.
All right, I'll just tell you, Netflix here. You didn't get there today. 5:30. That's your level. That's your 2-day high. 5:30.24. Another pesky high at 5:31.50. So no continued upside for Netflix until we get to 5:30. We got Rob in the background.
We have Rob. I'm holding my breath here because
Okay.
I hope that Rob's. I know we'll be able to hear Rob. There's a slight chance that we'll have to go on mute, Joel, while he's talking. But let's bring him on now. Rob Friesen from Stock Odds. Holding my breath, Rob. How we doing?
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Oh, it's fixed. It's magic. What'd you do?
No, I switched it from the cell phone to the PC. So there you go. But
there we go.
But there's still going to be the screen share on the other ones. So can I do both?
It says your device is not connected to the screen share, so we can't really see. I mean, we see like from your camera. We see from your camera, but we can't really make anything. Oh,
well, try that. Can you switch me over to that?
That helped.
There you go.
Look at that.
I mean,
I taught Rob everything he knows about technology.
Hey, listen, this is a busy screen, so don't get confused here. But what I want to show you is you got to have a number of indicators in order to read the markets properly. And I think the more indicators you have doesn't mean that you get overwhelmed with it. You just kind of get a context, a perspective, right? So first of all, up in this left corner up in here, pay attention to what Germany's doing overnight and pre-market. That'll help. The DAX, it's a good indicator. Obviously, crude, gold, what's happened in Asia overnight, Japan, Bitcoin, what's going on there. And then for the day, the trend and the advancers over decliners are kind of important. So we obviously had a move down on the advancers over decliners, and we stayed sideways, and you could see this this starting to rebuild here a little bit even ahead of the S&P moving. And then obviously, a daily chart of the S&P and then an intraday chart. But there's some more indicators here on this one, and that's basically the cumulative tick. So what's important about that is you can actually see the change in sentiment through this, because if you were to put a moving average through that, you would see that we were slightly sloping upward, which means that the buy side was certainly dominating. And if you compile that with the VIX, you can see the decline of the volatility. And when volatility declines, often the market has more ability to slowly trend up. And if, for example, shorts aren't paying attention, they can get themselves, slowly bleeding because they're fighting that lower volatility and that upward pressure. So the cumulative tick is very important to watch. It basically helps you with your entries. If you're trying to say, hey, I want to be in this position, it's good to enter on the come tick being down. And when you want to sell into a rallying come tick, but also watch the slope of that too. So that's really important.
How often will you look at these overnight? Will you continue to look at them through the day, or is this just purely?
No, this is something you watch all the time. I mean, if you're looking to enter and exit at good points, I mean, some of these bid-ask spreads are quite substantial. So what do you want to do? Do you want to pay across the spread, or you kind of want to be patient and wait for it to fall in your lap? This just helps with timing the trades. This helps with understanding the volatility. And then we go into the ratio charts. I love to watch something like diamonds against the Qs. because you can see that this daily slope here has been in play for a long time. So even though technology is soft overall, we're this is SPY versus IWM. Sorry, overall the SPY is looking probably better than the Russell, but that's not what it is saying on the big picture. The Russell is still outperforming the SPY. And for the diamonds and the Qs, we have seen a bit of a change here where diamonds, the Dow is outperforming the NASDAQ. And that's been obvious.
Doesn't look like that trend's reversing anytime soon, Rob.
Well, no, we've got a bounce on this, which means there has been, more money flow into the Dow. Some of these industrials have been performing well. The banks are performing well. We're seeing that sort of value proposition that we've talked about before. But in the SPY versus IWM, the Russell 2000, we aren't at the end of the road yet. I mean, it's been multi-month in play here, very strong. And if we go back, even further, like we have such a big move that we still have further to fall, so that the IWM can still outperform the SPY for a while yet. But it's looking stretched, but can't fight that.
All right, so we're gonna cover this some stuff on Sunday night. We're gonna do a little bit different because hopefully I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. Michigan's gonna be in the Big Ten championship game, and if not, we have the tournament selection show. So you have to prioritize. So we're gonna be doing our Sunday night thing not at the 6 o'clock open, but we're going to be doing it at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be putting this link out. I'll be tweeting it out on Sunday, but this will be the link. And what we're going to do is we are going to be covering trade setups going into the week into quad expiration. So, Rob, you want to talk about triple witches or quad witches in the past, or potential setups for next week?
They are bigger than the monthly expirations and obviously the weekly and so on. So it is a quad, and with rebalancing as well, it can be very substantial. Also, people are already starting to figure out what's going to be in the Russell rebalance, what's going to be added or subtracted from all those indices for the end of June, right? So there's already a start on that takes place. And yeah, we can cover, what stuff is favored for the expiration to be long, other things that you might want to be short. It'll be kind of like this, where we'll be looking at our seasonality. This is the Bollinger Band report from yesterday. And if we take a look at bullish reversals, we see that Stitch Fix, had a pretty substantial drop and had very good penetration of the lower Bollinger Band. And afterwards, it says 6.54% potential performance after that type of event. So today would be the first day of the 10 projected days. And we're already seeing it up 5% today. So it gives you some opportunity to really position yourself in, stocks that may reverse. You can screen other ways.
You know why I like this setup, Rob? You know what I like this? I mean, it's something we learned from our buddy Gil Morales that comes on. When you see three lows in a row, 47.51, 47.85, and 48.25, that's after a big volume day on the day after earnings. That tells me there's some big boys stepping up to the plate. Yeah, there's some institutions either bringing in, trying to bring in a short, being real patient. Like they don't want to go, show 48 bid for $500,000, but they're sneaky about it, and they probably put out discretionary orders. So it gives you a great, even if you took a poke at yesterday's close, you might have taken some heat, but because you had the lower open. But those are kind of setups I like. So go ahead on that one.
No, it's true. I mean, the problem with just looking at where it went to is unless you have some history to say every time that it's done this type of a move in the past, this has been the subsequent performance. So that's what this gave you from Thursday's close. It gave you the performance projection for Friday and beyond. So that's a little bit better than just reading a chart, right?
Much better.
Because the chart doesn't tell you exactly what's going to happen next, but this gives you some insights into what's potentially possible. So if we look at Stitch Fix, that was definitely a bullish call. Let's look at the next one, GSX. And it had dropped down and hit the not quite as much of a penetration of the band as the Stitch Fix, but nonetheless gave a positive expectation for today at 6.25%, as well as that should continue over the next number of days. So nice move on that one.
Can we throw a curveball at you, Rob?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you see RIDE today? RIDE?
Yeah.
Now I know that once SPACs have their deal, you just kind of wash your hands of them and everything. But short report out by Hindenburg blew the stock up, and boom, boom, boom. There it is. It's trying to recover, trying to get a little bit of green candle. Got any probabilities on this one?
I can talk about that for next week if you want. I'll put it on.
Yeah, why don't we do? Well, yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting thing for Sunday night. So just give us a little before we let you go. Just give us a little historical perspective on the Quad Witch's expiration. I mean, okay. I think last March, big gamma unwind, and so. I believe we had a big run in on the last March expiration. Does it make a difference whether it's March, June, Sep, or Dece, or not really?
Yeah, I mean all the months have different characteristics. I mean seasonality is month over month very different, year over year very different, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday they all are different. So you have to dial into what you want. So the third Friday of March. We're looking at CCL, Marriott, Shopify, Hilton, all doing projected to do really well. And on the downside, we've got Amgen, Pepsi, Comcast, Coke, Disney, Tesla, Mo. So you can see that those are not favored for the third Friday of March, where these ones over here are favored. So it's really just a probability skew, right? It's like this is what has performed well in the past on the third Friday of March, and this is what hasn't performed well. So if you want to be a basket trader, you can pair up those two ideas. You know, spread your capital over some of the long ideas and spread your capital over some of the short ideas. No different than on this screen here, MOS. Which said, hey, it shouldn't perform very well today. Well, let's see how it didn't perform. Same thing with some of these other ones. You can if you're into shorting, which is a good way to hedge your risk from major events that could occur even midday or certainly overnight or into a weekend.
Do you try and have a balanced book every night, or sometimes leading? Because I know Triple D sometimes he gets in trouble when he gets a little bit of opinionated. Do you always try and have a balanced book with longs and shorts?
No, I'd lean to the long side because it's a buy side market. I mean, it's not a matter of being perfectly hedged if you have other strategies that you want to employ. Like I don't see the benefit of a stock that's $10 and has reasonable fundamentals. I don't see a reason to short it. But if it's something is fully baked in, all the expectations, it's really rich in valuation. That would make a good short. I mean, I think for a while there, when Apple was doing really poorly, I think a lot of people were shorting that and buying some of the other, stuff that just had more growth potential than Apple, in their opinion, right? So you can always do that. Same thing with any of the ETFs. short an ETF and buy a whole bunch of components that have better prospects than the ETF itself because it's statistically muted. So in that sense, yeah, it's great to be perfectly balanced, but if you're in a buy-side market and we've got stimulus and other favorable things going on, why not be extra long?
Can you do a little extra homework for me for Sunday night too?
Sure.
Look at the Intel AMD relationship.
Okay.
Because AMD, I mean, that spread went way out there. When AMD got to 100, boy oh boy, when was that? AMD got to 100 at the beginning of the year, and Intel was only at where was it in early January? That's before it had the big news. Man, that thing was 54 bucks, 53, 54 bucks.
Yeah.
And now that has gained what, $8, and Intel's lost 25. So just see if you, I know that spread's been way in and way out, but check that one for me, and that'd be great.
Just at first glance, it just seems to be, mean reverting to, its more subdued trend. The subdued trend is still up. It's just reverting back to that. It definitely earnings and other events can impact these things, so they can get out of line for a while. But over the long sample, mean reversion has worked really, really well. It's just that you have to be careful about, what you're fading, when you're fading it, what the context is, and what
your consequences are.
What's the consequences of your shorting things. But I mean, mean reversion in general has been in play for 50 years. I mean, it does work. Right.
All right, Rob, we got 4 minutes here. I'm gonna do some ticker time. But we appreciate the input here, and you'll be joining me Sunday night. We'll see what setups we get, what moves over the weekend, and
we'll plan a whole bunch of industries and also individual stocks and stuff for the week. And that's a beautiful thing. We can curate that ahead of time and do the homework, so that's good.
All right, thank you, Rob. I'll be watching basketball, and you'll be getting stuff ready for the show. And I'll do a little technical analysis as well. All right, Rob, thank you. We just had a little dip under 39.40, right back up. 39.43.75 is our last tick. Heading into the final 3 minutes of the session. Spencer, you want to go rapid fire here on a few tickers before we wrap things up for the week?
Yes, I do. But before I do that, I just want to run through quickly some things to watch for next week.
Sure.
Ticker U, Unity Software, their lockup expiration is Wednesday. So we've got that. We've got a Fed meeting / announcement / press conference. That's also Wednesday. That's always at 2:30 is when that starts. So you want to have that on your radar. See what Uncle Powell has to say. Pumpin' Powell. And that's pretty much it. On the earnings front, we got some notable reports, especially in the back half of the week. Thursday, we're going to hear from FedEx, going to hear from Nike and Dollar General. We've also got, actually, those that's kind of it for the week. CrowdStrike is Tuesday. But yeah, those three are sort of your big ones for the week. FedEx,
interesting charts.
Yeah, FedEx, Nike, DG, Jabil Circuits is Tuesday morning, but CSIQ is Thursday morning. But that's kind of it for the on the earnings front. Let's go do some ticker time from chat. Drop those tickers in. Zachary,
give me some good ones.
Wait, Zachary wants to know what time on Sunday.
7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And Joel's going to tweet that out, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's at Spoos.
At SPUS on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Here's a ticker that I've looked at a couple times today. I saw it was discussed earlier on one of our streams. Is SEEL. Is this one of the stocks that Jason bought today? It might be. Jason did a lot of buying today. SEEL.
Seal?
That's the one. Anything you can say about it?
Oh, it's had a good day. Did he mention that this morning? I can't remember.
No, he did a lot of buying in the middle of the day.
Oh, okay. Well, he pushed it up there, and not literally. It got to $6. A little bit of a fade here on it. Still a good day though. It had the gap and go. Did you have any news on it?
Yeah, there was some news. Was it this morning or was it last night? What was the news?
Yeah, I can't tell. I don't know much about this.
It got an initiation with a buy at BTIG. And
okay,
that's kind of it. Okay, real fast. Saber, SABR.
That's a travel thing, right? Saber. Yep.
Let me.
No,
that's IT. It's IT.
IT.
Yeah.
It's trying. I mean, it's a good looking chart. Little breather. Nice week. Inside day here. What's important for this on Monday is to take out 1640. And you're getting a little bit of a running start at it. I see the 1682 high, but 3 other last 4 highs have been right at 1640. So, I'll go with the 1680, but it looks like your 1682 sellers step down, and that'd be another leg higher. All right, S&Ps, boom, just rallying into the close here, up 8 handles as we speak. The bell has already rang. New all-time closing high on this day. Another buy the dip Friday. We're right at the highs of the pre-market session, 46.50. We got to 45.25. So see what else. What kind of buying they can do. Big Bill D helped me up. He says it's IT for travel.
Coming through in the clutch. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, we're like a point away from all-time highs here, at least in the SPY. So all things considered.
Yeah. No. What did the SPY get to? It should have been higher yesterday because we hit that during the day. Right. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
And that's SPY's like 10 S&P points. Okay, yep. Spencer.
Smash that like button, everyone. We made it to the end of the week. Everyone, have a good rest of your day. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday morning.
Go Blue.